right, my next guest will be making his UFC debut on January the 15th against Jaime Pickett. And of course, it is Joseph Holmes back on the show. Joseph, how are you?
I'm great, Ryan. Thanks, bro. How about yourself?
Good to see you. And this fight just seems like it came out of nowhere just a couple short months ago. You had the fight that got you into the UFC. And now here, this is a short notice fight, right? So tell me when you found out about this opportunity.
Well, I was in Kansas City last week, and then Krause had mentioned something about, making weight for a fight, but it wasn't nothing too specific. He was just asking me, kind of just like, how's your weight? And I know whenever I get asked that, I'm like, oh, they're talking about fights, you know what I mean? So they actually presented this fight to me on Monday, though.
Okay, so you've known for a few days now. What was your immediate thoughts against Jaime Pickett? He's a fellow Contender Series alum, just like yourself.
My immediate thought was he fought my last opponent, and I was like, okay, he didn't finish him to the second rounds, and it was a referee stoppage even. So I was like, and I finished that guy first round on my own. So I'm like, okay, if I go in here and finish him on my own, it's going to show like an obvious skill difference between us and kind of just really show the UFC I'm supposed to be there. So I'm excited. I feel like each fight is like the fight I'm supposed to have. And this definitely feels like the perfect fight for me. Stylistically, but that's not even like what I mean. Just more so like he's been in the UFC for 3 fights. I'm just getting in the UFC. You want a spot in the UFC, you got to go take his spot. Like I love that type of stuff.
Yeah. And as far as, stepping up on short notice, did you feel like you were where you needed to be, like, as far as training wise goes, to step in and really go in there and finish a guy like Jaime on short notice?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've been training. I always train. Like training is what I do. And I was taking like some time off for Christmas break, but I was still even going to the gym and still getting some work in. So no, man, I'm definitely ready to take him out. I've been waiting on this for years now. This is what I've been working towards, and nothing's going to stop me now that they gave me my opportunity. So I'm just excited to get in there early in the year. I think this is the first card of the year, and really leave a message here against a guy who I feel isn't even on my level, even though he's been on a higher level longer than I have. So I'm super stoked about this.
What are your thoughts on fighters, that have an opponent? Like he was supposed to fight Chao Barajo, and now, he's fighting you obviously on short notice. Like, do you feel like that is an advantage to you? Like maybe he's preparing for someone completely different and now he has to change things up to get ready for a different style, someone that's very long like yourself.
I don't know what the other guy looks like, Chao Barajo. I don't know what he is, but I hope he wasn't just training for that guy, and I hope he was just trying to make himself better and fix his own holes. That's really what training should be about. It shouldn't necessarily be, oh, this guy's like this, I gotta do this. Like if you're training everything, you should always be able to adapt to whoever you're facing and do what it takes to take them out. So I hope that's what he's been doing. Just training to make himself better. That way we can put on an awesome show with an awesome fight.
You said you were with Krause, getting some work in. Tell me what, life has been like for you since we've spoken last. Like, have you been bouncing back and forth from training with him and then being at home and getting your work in with the guys that you're normally with around close to where you live?
Yeah, I think we talked about like 3 weeks ago or so, almost a month now, maybe. Yeah, I've been here mostly in Texas at SFS MMA mostly. But like I said, I kind of felt a fight sneaking up on me. So last week I was like to my girlfriend, like, hey, can we just take off and go to Kansas City for a couple of days? And she's like, you want to? And I'm like, yeah, I think I should. And she's like, okay, let's go. So yeah, and then I come back home to them telling me I got to fight. So it was perfect timing. And I plan on going back on Monday after Christmas too. So
What specifically did you work with Krause when you were there? Are you fine tuning anything specifically, or are you just doing what you normally do, just kind of well-rounded, sharpening your skill set?
Let me see what Krause was there. We were working on some stuff that was kind of helping me with my game. Yeah, for sure. yeah, we were working on some timing things and some footwork stuff to add into like cutting angles and stuff like that. That me and him have been working on specifically, absolutely. And then he turned around and went to Vegas on the last day that I was out there. So I was working with Coach Austin, Coach Austin out there, and he's great too with linking combinations together and stuff. So mainly a lot of what we've been working is like having high volume and not one shotting and throwing a lot of combinations and catching angles and stuff. So that's been super helpful. Yeah, I love going out there because we always work on some like real mathematical stuff. Like like it's literally like doing algebra, like going out there working on combinations and stuff. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see the fruits of your labor inside of the cage. Now, with the holidays right around the corner. I mean, Christmas is just a couple days away. Then the New Year. What will that balance be like? Are you just going to be, really strict with everything you do, everything you put into your body leading up to this fight? Or are you going to be able to maybe let loose a little bit and eat some good food during the holidays?
I could I've kind of got really good with my weight cuts, so I think I'll be able to like just be real strict and then, cheat a little bit on the holidays when it comes to like my food and stuff. So just maybe just, portion it right. So I'm not, packing on weight. I'm just, eating a little bit bad with all the dressing and, and the candy yams and the potato salad, so we'll see. I mean, I've never missed weight, so I'm not worried about missing weight. I just definitely want to enjoy myself. I don't want to be uptight, throughout this entire thing and stressed out and, worried about all the wrong things. I want to just have fun and enjoy where I'm at and, just train like I'm supposed to and then, be able to have fun like I want to, go to my, Christmas parties that the team's having, even though I gotta, drink water while everybody else is drinking liquor, it's all good. I'm still like having fun and, around the people that I love to be around. So yeah, I'll probably still have some fun and not be so uptight and stressed out and just be excited about the opportunity I have because I've been training nonstop for 8+ years now. And literally this Christmas break, I tried to take a break and I still was training at least like 2 or 3 times a week. And still like, that's like the first break I've ever had. So I do this, man, and hopefully Jamie does too. I see he's been taking a lot of losses, so there's no way he's gonna beat me, but hopefully he's been training hard and we can put on a great show.
Do you know what your weight is at this morning?
I didn't weigh myself this morning, but I weighed myself at the beginning of the week and I was about 206.
Okay, so that's got to be normal range for you this far out, I'd imagine.
Well, no, this is actually probably like heavier I normally am. So it's no big deal. It's still like under, I just always make sure like, as long as I'm under 25 or, high 20 or anything, I'm happy. Because as soon as I start, weight cut camping, like the part of your weight cut where you're just like doing cardio and, portioning your food and just drinking a bunch of water, my body gets down to like 195 without even doing anything. And that's 10 pounds off of weight, which I could just lose in water. So weight cuts got really easy for me recently.
That's great to hear, man. Now, the last time we did talk too, you mentioned that you were trying to get some snowboarding in, before the holidays. Did you get a chance to do that? You and the girlfriend get out there and rip up some trails?
Yes, we did. Yeah, I actually shredded the day after the fight. And that was amazing. And yeah, I got to get some awesome shredding because I was super healthy after that fight. And yeah, we were supposed to go back a few weeks ago, actually, but the group canceled. So we're planning on going again right after this, right after this fight, the same, like the next weekend after this fight.
Nice. Do you have like a go-to mountain or anywhere specifically that you primarily will go when you want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite ski resort is Loveland. Loveland Ski Resort is amazing, especially for new people. A lot of the trails have a lot of straight shots where you can just learn, you know, a lot of the basic stuff like standing up and, you know, leaping down the mountain. But yeah, I would highly recommend Loveland Ski Resort to anybody that's interested. And I would recommend snowboarding too, because skiing looks funny.
Yeah, I can't ski very well. I'm a decent snowboarder, but yeah, I'll leave the skiing to other people. I'll end up falling flat on my face or injuring myself. Again, too, you know, when we spoke last, you gave me your prediction for the upcoming middleweight title fight between Adesanya and Whitaker. So, you know, with that said, I just wanted to get your take on 2021 in general for MMA. I mean, it really was such an amazing year. So many great fights. What stands out to you as the year comes to an end? Is there a certain fighter that you feel like, you know, maybe stole the years, like the fighter of the year, or a certain fight that stands out? Like, what runs through your mind when I mention that?
Honestly, when you mention that, first thing that runs in my mind is the change in the women's division, in the women's featherweight division. Nunes, or I think she's featherweight, or she was the featherweight champion, just lost it to Pena.
She lost the bantamweight title to Pena, but she still is the featherweight champion. There's just not a whole lot of women's featherweight fighters to actually compete with her right now, so she just hasn't defended it recently.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to put a huge, you know, just kind of make the women's division a lot more exciting. For a long time, nobody could imagine, you know, Nunes losing to someone, you know, and everybody's just like, oh, well, she's going to get slumped. She's going to get slumped. But it kind of puts an interesting dynamic on the women's division to see somebody come out of nowhere and be just as good as like some of these women that we see as untouchable. You know what I mean? Like Nunes, and now I want to see her fight Shevchenko. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. That trilogy would be amazing.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. And also, Bobby Green's pretty exciting to me right now. I'm interested to see what he does this next year. I saw him get involved in that grappling tournament, or that that invitational, that grappling invitational. So I'm a fan of his. And to see he's doing grappling and stuff, and he's considered like a striker in the UFC, that's interesting to me.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great fights and just fighters that have stepped up to the next level this past year. I'm sure 2022 will be even better with the way that the sport is evolving. Now, back to your fight. Will James Krause, will he be in your corner come fight night?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Who else will you have there? Who else will be in your corner against Pickett?
Michael, Anthony Singh, my head coach. Of course, he'll be in my corner. He's cornered me for every one of my fights. And we actually have 3 other guys, amateurs, who fight that same day. And when I got offered the fight, I knew, well, we both knew, like, we had stuff going on. And I was like, you know, I tried to talk to my management, like, is there any other time? Or is this kind of like, you know, just being honest, like, is this kind of like the best time? I mean, you know, do we have to take this? You know, is there not like a, you know, early February we could take, just because my other guys I was thinking about, it's really important to me to be involved in their careers as well. But they're like, no, we need to take this just for, you know, what we have going on. We're trying to be busy this year. So going in there and executing this is what we need in order to be busy. And I was like, all right, well, thanks for being honest. And I let my guys know I have to take this fight. You know, it doesn't get any better than this for me. So they'll be all right. But yeah, Coach Anthony Slang will be in my corner also. And then I'll have my girlfriend, Kaylee Marnell, in my corner as well.
Very cool. And with this being your UFC debut, man, I mean, this has been a long time coming. People have been feeling like maybe you should have already had your UFC debut, if we're going to be truly honest. But do you feel like there's going to be extra pressure on you? Like, is it going to be any different? Do you feel like there's going to be an extra weight on you to go out there and perform now that you're actually in the UFC?
No way. I'm pretty surprised that people are. I've heard a lot of people say it, but I'm really surprised that people are saying that I should have already had my debut. I mean, I feel like I'm so young still. Like, I feel like I'm still like, you know, just getting started. You know, like, I feel like I just got good. You know, I haven't even always been good. So for people to be saying that, it feels great. It makes my heart happy. I appreciate it. But no, I've been training for this moment, and I'm gonna be ready for this one moment. You know, I know there's a bunch of imaginary moments we could all see. Like, if that last fight contender could have went different and they gave me a contract. My last fight would have been a debut. I think that's what people are imagining. But, I still look at that like a debut. I made the same money that I'm about to make for winning this fight. So this to me is about to be my second UFC fight. My last fight was already a UFC fight. Dana was there. It was against somebody that was supposed to be better than me. So just like this guy, he's supposed to be better than me. He has 10 more fights than me. You know what I mean? 10 more professional. So that's not even counting how many amateur fights he has. So, hey, I'm just going to continue to just show the world, man. I've been working for this.
So stylistically, what kind of a fight are you expecting Pickett to bring to you come January 15th?
I'm expecting him to try and pretend like he's a striker, and then as soon as he gets busted in his mouth, he's going to shoot for a takedown. I don't see him really being able to handle the volume I bring. He's kind of like a one-shotter, and he's just like a strong, muscly guy. So I just see him having a strong first 2 minutes, looking good, and then start to wear pretty quickly. And I'm pretty direct about what's going to happen. I just put volume on you. Even if you're trying to do your thing, we're working the whole time. You know what I mean? And I guarantee I'll go longer than you will. So yeah, I'm excited about this fight. He's going to be game, but I don't think he has the skill set. And then he doesn't train with the people he needs to train with to be able to beat me.
So official prediction, do you get him out of there in the first, second, or is this going the distance?
Oh no, we're not leaving the first. We're not leaving the first. This is my UFC debut. I'm trying to get Joe Rogan to ask me to be on his show. So we're not leaving the first, bro. And we're definitely not going the distance because last time I saw the judges, it didn't go my way, and I don't want to see him again.
So the goal is first round finish, and Joe Rogan asking you to come on his podcast afterwards to be one of his guests in 2022.
That's my prediction.
I love it, man. I can't wait. I'm really intrigued about this matchup. Both you and Jaime Pickett. Again, it's a middleweight bout going down January the 15th at the Apex, UFC Vegas 46. One more question for me, man, before I let you go. Are you going to try and stay as active as possible in 2022? After this fight, if you don't take any damage, are you trying to hop back in there soon? Or are you going to maybe want a full camp and prepare for, 2-3 months before you actually have your next fight?
My goal is actually going 4-0 this year. So that way by 2023, I'll be pretty close to title contentionship, especially since that'll be an 11-fight win streak. So yeah, my goal is to get to a title before 2024. Be looking at a title maybe entering 2024 by the end of 2023. That's my goal.
All right, man. Can't wait. Step one is January 15th against Jaime Pickett. Always a pleasure talking to you, Joseph. Before I let you go, I'm going to give you the floor as always. Tell people where to follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Hey, yeah, thank you, bro, for your time in Iridium Sports for setting up this awesome fight. And the UFC, man, for making all this possible. So you guys go check me out on Ugly Man Joe on all social media outlets. And then my gaming channel, Ugly Man Joe Gaming on Facebook. So yeah, man, I always appreciate coming on here talking with you.